Back, everyone. I request all of you to please settle down. The next segment of this conference is the prize distribution ceremony for the competition that we organized. This competition was organized by the Social Inequality Lab and World Bank. And this competition, the theme of this competition was Poverty Through Your Eyes. We had shared information about this poster to all the different schools and universities, and we had invited young thinkers aged 16 to 25 to come up with their ideas and showcase their work regarding what they think about poverty and what is their opinion about it. We received an amazing response, and in total we received 303 submissions from all over Pakistan, from various different cities, and I was really happy to see that the young generation is so enthusiastic to make their voices heard. We received submissions from Karachi, Islamabad, Lahore, Rawalpindi, Multan, Peshawar, Janwala, and so on. The competition was, if we look at it statistics-wise, we received submissions from both males and females, but we received an overwhelming response from females. There were more than 200 submissions out of the total 303 submissions that were made by females. These submissions were asked to be submitted in the form of essays, poetry, artwork, and videos. So most of the submissions were in the form of essays. The process of selection of the winners from this competition was very rigorous. Initially, there was a subcommittee that was made, and each submission was judged by 2 different judges of different expertise. And based on their evaluation, we selected top 20 submissions. And then there was another main judging committee in which we chose the 7 winners. I now invite the country director of World Bank, Dr. Najy Benhassine, to please come on stage and speak a few words about the idea behind organizing this competition.
Thank you very much. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good morning, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Very excited to be here. This is a great initiative, and I'd like to thank my team and Christina, who's here, as well as IBA for the collaboration on this. Why did we do this? Why did we jointly organize this competition? So this is part of a program that we have started actually a few months back that's called Reforms for a Brighter Future. And usually when there's new governments coming and taking charge in a country, we share policy notes on what we think are important priorities for the country. This time, we decided to do this openly and publish draft notes, we call them discussion notes, and organize a large series of consultations across the countries with think tanks, universities, and youth to try to hear what people and experts and academics and stakeholders and young youth and students think are the major priorities for the country. The theme of this conference is challenging linearity. This is what this is about. We think that there's major policy change that need to happen in Pakistan to improve the development prospects. And as part of this program, we thought that probably the most important voice in the country, because this policy change will affect the youth, is actually the youth, in particular students, who will be the leaders of tomorrow, who will be contributing to the prosperity of this country tomorrow, who will be on the job market soon. So we thought that we needed to go an extra step to hear the voices of the youth, of you, and most of you are young. We did this through consultations in universities, meeting students, but particularly through launching this competition, which is basically calling students and youth across the country to just write down what they think are their priority or their visions along 3 themes. One, how they see poverty, how they see their relationship with leadership and the government, and how they see the future of the country. And with IBA, we collaborated on the one on how they see issues of poverty. And the response was incredible. I think there was more than 400 contributions, and they could be in different forms, but students actually wrote essays and texts and sent them all. And that was an amazing experience. I'm hearing from professors at IBA, but also the team, how rich were these inputs and these thoughts. So I'd like to thank all the participants. I don't have the exact number, but I think it's more than 400 students who contributed from around the country. And given such success in terms of attracting voices and views, it was a very difficult exercise that was co-led with IBA to select a few of them that could be recognized today. But I wanted to recognize all the contributors, and especially our 7 winners that were selected and that will receive their recognition today. And I'm really, really proud to be here to be able to do this. So thank you all, and let's go to the recognition of the 7 winners that you see in the screen. Sorry?
We will first see the video of a few of the judges who have shared their experience of judging this competition and what they saw the students were trying to say. So let's hear from them.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Maria Kazi. I'm an economist with the World Bank Group. Our main motivation behind organizing this competition and participating in this conference, it has been part of a broader effort that we're doing to try to bring attention, not just within policy circles, but also within the broader population, towards the key development challenges that Pakistan is facing today. And this is under the Reforms for a Brighter Future platform. And in particular, our motivation behind this competition, Poverty Through Your Eyes, for young people, was to really get a sense for how young people are seeing poverty in their daily lives.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mariam Aziz, and I am an assistant professor at IBA in the Social Sciences and Liberal Arts department, and I teach filmmaking. So it was really a delight when I was invited by the organizers here at IBA to be a judge in the Poverty Through Your Eyes exhibition, and it was really wonderful to see that there was such a variety of mediums in this, such as essays and poetry and video and art. So I think it was a really creative and innovative project which reached out to young students and young men and women throughout a really diverse geographical and educational background across Pakistan. And for us to get to see the kind of results of this and have a chance to get to know what young people's actual thinking and passion is on the topic of poverty was a real pleasure. So I'm really honored that I got to spend time with this and get a sense of people's perspectives on poverty. There were a lot of very passionate stories of local examples of poverty that were written with a real strong first-hand experience.
Thank you everyone for submitting your responses. I really like the responses about the essays, the poetries. Mostly students have tried their best to convey their message. The good thing or the interesting thing that I like in these essays and poetries was that people are aware about the problem of poverty. They also tried to connect it with the climate change, food insecurity and social inclusion issues. So it was really exciting for me to know that people are also aware about these problems. If a society knows these problems, then they can come up with a solution.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Neema Faraz. I am a research fellow at the Population Research Center, IBA. Judging this contest was a very interesting experience. I got to witness the various fresh perspectives from young people from all regions of Pakistan. I am eagerly anticipating the winners and best of luck to all the contestants.
This is Mariam Khan. I work in the Marketing and Communications department. I almost happened to judge more than 60 entries, and it was an amazing experience. The intriguing perspectives that I got to experience for this competition has been a fantastic experience, and I can't wait to see who the winners are, and I wish all the participants a very best of luck. Thank you.
My name is Saqib Sharif. I am Associate Professor at IBA Karachi, Department of Finance, School of Business Studies. I was one of the judges in the panel to look at the deliverables students submitted in essays, video, poetry and artwork. It was a very good learning experience, and I was impressed the quality of the deliverables submitted by the students across Pakistan.
I would, just for clarification, there were many other judges. In total, we had 17 judges. There were judges from IBA as well as from outside IBA, from Habib University, Greenwich University, Liberty Works, and World Bank. And this was a very rigorous and transparent process through which these submissions were graded and selected. I now invite Dr. Najy to please distribute the checks to the winners. The first winner is Abir Usawawala. Please kindly come on stage. Yeah. Next is Afifa Siddiqui. Next we have with us Alifia Imran. Next we have Fatima Arshad, who has come from all the way from Kohat to join us for this prize ceremony. Yes, she's from Kohat, yes. Next is Hamza Ali. He has come from Hyderabad to join us. Next recipient is Amal Akil for submitting a video. She's the winner of a video competition. Each of the winners have received 50,000 rupees as prize money. And I congratulate all of you for putting in so much effort and sharing your submissions with us. I invite Afifa Siddiqui to come and share her submission with us.
Hello everyone, and a very good morning to all of you. I am Afifa and I'm in my third semester at the IBA. I'm pursuing social sciences, but I have a very distinct interest in writing because I feel like it helps me put words into some of the very thoughts I have in my mind. I got the award for the poetry category, and for this specific piece I was inspired by one incident that happened a few years ago, but it didn't quite leave my mind since. So a few kilometers before my house there used to be a tandoor shop beside the neighborhood mosque. It was run by a smiling Afghan man who was notorious for his delicious kulcha. Unfortunately, due to the recent heart-wrenching crackdown on the Afghan refugees, he has now closed the shop and left town. But when the shop did stand, that day I saw a teenage boy carrying a fresh naan in his right hand whilst riding a bicycle. I noticed how he kept alternating between his right and his left hand as the naan was fresh out of the oven and it was so hot that it was visibly burning his palms. So as he hurriedly cycled away, wobbling the bicycle whilst trying to steer his way back, a bright blue Corolla zoomed past him and from a very near distance, but fortunately the boy was able to swerve away from the vehicle. And the strange thing was that the driver, he just raced by, unfazed, never looking back. I later learned that that boy was a laborer in a local textile factory and it cost a few more rupees to purchase a plastic bag to put a naan in, which he could not afford. And in the case he had not hurried back, carrying the burning naan in his bare hands, from the few minutes he got off his shift, he would have been fired. I have written this for all those our eyes miss when we drive past them without looking back. Waqt se pehle. In my neighborhood, Gali number 12, Gulshan-e-Johar, all affairs reach a verdict waqt se pehle. A Christian innocent is decreed blasphemous to walk a righteous death waqt se pehle. An almighty industrialist lies off his mazdoor waqt se pehle. A saza is performed before a crime waqt se pehle. And girls are intimidated into women waqt se pehle. The blood-soaked guardians of Gali number 12, Gulshan-e-Johar, long fled the country waqt se pehle. As boiling hot kawa, blame is ladled on the heads of old men and young women waqt se pehle. Wars are waged, millions are sacrificed. Fear is perfumed with bullets on the streets. Destitution dies in disease. And I dream of leaving Gali number 12, Gulshan-e-Johar, waqt se pehle. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Afifa. So, waqt se pehle means before time. A child, what this poetry was trying to say, that we should not force children to grow before time. The next submission is by Abir Usawala, and I request her to please come on stage and share the essay that she has written on Poverty Through Your Eyes theme.
Hi, my name is Abir Usawala, and I study at the Lyceum College in Karachi, and I'm going to read out my essay to you. Poverty Through My Eyes. What does it mean to be poor? What does it mean to be vulnerable? Poverty and vulnerability are two very close but different concepts. Being poor does not only mean being denied access to necessary material benefits. It means being denied the various opportunities to live life, not survive, but live. Being vulnerable refers to the experiences you have because you are poor. It is the extent of learning you have because you are disadvantaged. It's high time we do not just stare at the tip of the ocean, but delve deeper to understand what it actually means to be poor, what it actually signifies to be vulnerable. It is time we do not talk about how poverty only means how much money one has, but what experiences a poor and a vulnerable person has. The poverty that I know of is my driver fretting about how he will send his son to school next month so that he can escape the horrendous truth of not having a proper job. The vulnerability I know of is my cook complaining about how the officer in a certain institution was partial with him as compared to a man dressed in clean clothes. The poverty I experience as a Pakistani is when my maid's husband chooses to let his family be hungry for 3 days in a row. Her tired eyes, her dragging shoulders, all screaming how badly she wants to escape these difficulties. Her eyes, her tears, her sighs dictate the stories her mouth is too tired to talk of. Oh, the vulnerability. While these may seem to be some minuscule details I may not even have cared about as a child, the unrestrained tears of my maid's child from being given a full plate of biryani sent shivers up to my soul. Whilst I may not even think twice about throwing away my food because I craved for something else, these little souls do not even have access to pure drinking water. Last week, my driver's child suffered from diarrhea after having water that was not clean. It is not about money. It is beyond money. It is about the accessibility to necessities, accessibility to rights, accessibility to water, food, and shelter, and most of all, the accessibility to life with dignity. Poverty and vulnerability are not providing electricity to the underprivileged areas in Karachi for 10 hours, for sometimes days, just because the area is not reputed to be the premium neighborhood. Understand that the idea of not being poor or vulnerable one day does not mean to have big mansions with many cars. It is just the idea of having 3 sufficient meals a day, to have pure water, to have the basic rights. It is the idea to not be denied friendships in peer groups and not be unworthy of friendship. Merely because I repeat the same 2 clothes for the entire week? It is about changing the ideology. When little Ali from Jacobabad says, we're still trying to survive till the end of the day, it is about making him realize that life is not to survive, but to live. Poverty prevails when all the poor kid's dreams is to grow up to become a doctor or a politician, to guarantee that the world will no longer include destitute families, and one day there would be happiness, eternal happiness. Little do they know, it takes decades or practically generations to leave behind poverty, to find a meaning to life, to gain back the lost self-respect, to find yourself worthy of social relationships, to habituate yourself to the taste of clean water, and in the end, eventually realize that there's no eternal happiness, no happily ever after. It's just them, their bistar, and their unfulfilled wishes. Thank you.